Hello and welcome back to the port. I'm the Gangut Major, and today it's been announced that the Russian battleships will be coming in the next patch. Based on that they're only showing us the tier 3 to 6, it looks like they will be coming as part of an early access, similar to how they've done the Russian cruisers. From the image that you see as you've logged in, we can tell that at tier 3 we're going to be getting the Gangut, at tier 4 we're going to be getting the Pyotr Velikiy, at tier 5 we're going to get the Izmail, and at tier 6 we're going to get the Sinop. Looking over these ships, based on what we have in the PC version of the game, we'll go through the pros and cons of the ships and what we can kind of expect. But one thing we should overall expect with all of these is a limited number of damage control parties. So rather than the infinite amount that you have to put out fires, repair turrets, and put out flooding and stuff like that on all the other nations, you're going to have a very limited number of those, maybe 2, maybe 3. You might be able to take that up by 1 more, depending on how you specialise your commander. So, looking into the Gangut to start with, looks like you have very good rudder, especially probably with the hull upgrade. It looks like your superstructure is quite small, which means you're not going to be taking much damage from high explosives or superstructure damage. Your hull armour scheme apparently will match up quite well with your main battery turrets, so it looks like your main armour is going to be at either end almost, where the ammunition is stored. The main batteries have a very good firing arcs and they're quite accurate and very good at penetration. Damage control party, so yes, you have a limited number of them, but it looks like they reload quite quickly, so if you need to use multiple in a pinch, then you probably can. Downsides are your detection range is quite large, you're quite slow, you have quite a high citadel with not a lot of armour on it, and you don't have any torpedo blisters, so you won't be able to take any torpedo reduction, unfortunately. Moving on to the Pyotr Velikiy, again, you have quick reload and damage control parties. You have good armor when you're battle tanking, so it looks like this is going to be another, like, you want to kite away or you want to battle tank. Your main battery accuracy is quite good at close ranges, and you have good firing angles as well, which means you won't have a very broad, you shouldn't have a broad stance if you need to get all your turrets on. You have good speed, and you have very quick traversing turrets, or quicker than some of the other nations. The downsides are obviously that limited number of control parties, your citadel being quite high in the waterline, so going to be very easy to citadel from the broadside. Your armour isn't that great from a broadside angle. Your main battery have quite a long reload time as well, so you won't be able to be chucking a lot of stuff down range, but when you do, maybe it should hit hard. Moving on to the Izmail, again, good armour when you're angled. You always want to be angling, really. Looks like you've got very good accuracy with your main battery at close range. Maybe it makes you more like a brawler. You want to get in pretty close and punch as hard as you can. Looks like you've got good top speed, and it looks like you're going to be coming with 12 main battery guns, which should give you quite an impressive broadside. And your rudder should be quite decent as well for like making tight nimble turns. Downsides though are you're going to have very poor accuracy at long range, probably very similar to the Germans, or maybe even worse. It's again, your citadel is quite high in the water, so that makes you vulnerable to being broadsided and hurt very hard. It looks like you have very poor torpedo protection as well, and quite a long reload on your main battery. And finally, for the tier 6, the Sinop, looking at her pros, looks like she's going to be quite quick, quite good rudder, very good guns. Again, this is at close range though. Due to the turret layout, you should be able to have a very narrow stance to get all your guns on target. Looks like your secondaries are going to be quite competitive too, so probably drawing into that kind of German brawler feel. And then you've got quite a respectable concealment and quite a decent health pool as well for the tier 6. Downside though is obviously you're vulnerable to being citadeled from broadside just due to your citadel being so high in the water. Slow turret traverse speed, quite a long reload as well. That limited damage control ability could hurt as well. The dispersion of your main battery at long range is going to be, sounds like it's going to be pretty bad as well. So again, you're feeling very German. quite a large turn circle. You're probably on par with HMS Hood, so that could make you quite weak against destroyers. So that's just a quick overlook of the coming Russian battleships. I'm the Galloping Major, and back to the port.